interviewing you as well. So, all right. Hey, everybody, it is Forbes Riley here, coming to you live from Orlando. We're here at Podfest at the Renaissance Hotel, having an amazing time, meeting a lot of unique podcasters from all around the world and learning a lot of new techniques and platforms. And if you've ever wanted to guest on a platform, this is a great place to start. The Owwll app is an unbelievable way to connect with people. And so I'm one of your many hosts, Forbes Riley. My partner in crime today is
Dr. Sex Fairy.
Yes, you heard that right, Dr. Sex Fairy. We're going to get into that just a little bit. If you have any questions about what? About
Life, about sex, about anything.
About life, sex, or anything, ask all of us. Why not? I looked at your last post on Instagram. Apparently, if you use the word penis in a post, you have 8 million views.
How about that?
You want to get it up? Okay, that's enough of that humor. On that note, I'm also going to introduce you to one of the most unique people that you'll ever meet. At just 17, she started a company that took multi-million dollars. At 22, she's the CEO of my company. Wait, of our company? Please meet the one and only Miss McKenna Riley.
Hello, my name is McKenna Riley. I'm known as the productivity expert because I help people get their business up online, automated. And if you're worried about technology, you don't know how to use it, that's why we came up with the GST software. It stands for Get Shit Done, because we implement it and make it happen with you.
And I got to tell you, as somebody who grew up with a phone attached to the wall, there are two kind of people. You're either like me, and you're used to that kitchen phone where you had to walk along just far enough away so your parents couldn't hear, or her generation that was born with the cell phone. The second they came out of the hospital, we slapped a phone on them. That's what it feels like.
That's what they did.
And then one of our amazing guests, Manny, over here, I need you to introduce yourself and say hi.
Hey guys, welcome to Podfest 2025. Thank you, Dr. Forbes, for introducing me. My name is Manny. I'm actually a sales expert outside sales. I build up sales teams, and then I set up SOPs and get them going, and I on 1099 contracts.
Do you think there's people out there who may not know what an SOP is?
Standard operating procedures.
So the two of you have something very much in common, and I'm curious to see if you do as well. I am a visionary. I'm a former actress and a little flighty, which means that I'm not as organized as I could be. And all of a sudden, she came on and said SOP. Do you know what that SOP is?
I do, actually.
So everyone at this table is smarter than I am, because I didn't. I had no idea. And I will tell you, it's the thing that if you do it over and over again, you should write down how you do it and have other people do it for you. Am I right?
Correct. Absolutely.
You've just blown up in your world. Will you tell everybody how you were legitimately a trauma doctor jumping out of helicopters, and now you do what? Explain that trajectory.
Well, my career evolved in the most interesting of ways. I went into emergency medicine thinking that was going to be my path in life. And I was saving lives, but what was I doing to enhance them? Not a lot. I also had a unique perspective into sexual treatments gone wrong, or Viagra and Cialis causing problems you would never think. Meds like Trimix that men give themselves, to be able to perform. These medications are very common and their side effects are common, but nobody talks about them. So I was seeing things going very wrong, and I said, where are they doctors and why is this being allowed to happen? And that's really how my career in sexual medicine began.
I love that. McKenna, you are not on a podcast at the moment, are you?
I'm on a podcast.
No, but in terms of your own. So explain to everybody, you're running a company. When you hear Dr. Sex Fairy as a young woman, what do you think?
I think that hopefully I won't need you for many years. But I'm excited to learn from you. What you have to post is interesting. But I also think your business experience and your podcast blowing up is something that all of us can learn from. And your take on it, you gave a really interesting piece of advice to me when I asked what makes a podcast successful. And it's about having a fun tinge to it. What makes it different? What makes it unique? And I've been thinking about that. How can I talk about a boring subject, software. How can I make that fun? And I've been thinking, how can I make it fun to learn about technology? So,
well, but so if one of the reasons you want to contact each of us for very different reasons. If you have an issue with your sex life, Dr. Sex Fairy. If your company, product, or service is not crushing it online, you are anything but boring, because you probably have a book or an idea, and if you're not getting it out, you specialize in creating leads. We all need that. Will you share with us what that means?
Well, getting leads is leads into your business. And most people walk around, and I hear this all the time. You go learn how to set up all these things in your business, but no one shows you how to actually get a lead. How do you actually get a customer? And so we talk about advertising, we talk about lead magnets, we talk about ways to get people not only interested in what you do, but buying what you do through the product pipeline. And if you're like, oh my God, I don't know what any of that means, it's okay, because most people don't know what these things are. And it's crazy to me that there's businesses out there that don't utilize these basic marketing practices to get their business out there. And we have a fun book that we want to write that's called Leads Are Everywhere. You just don't know how to attract them. And so that's what we specialize in, making it easy to funnel people into what you do, because people want what you have to offer. You're just not either positioning it or putting it in front of them so that they can buy it or show interest in what you do.
So Manny, you have a physical product, which is very different from what we're selling and talking about.
Correct.
How do you fit into all of this world?
Well, I was going to talk to you about that. I actually work with builders, right? With developers and whatnot, and hoteliers. So in my world, we're actually always talking and going to meetups, going to these conferences, and just getting ourselves out there. Mine's more of a tangible product, not more of advice, services, and consulting like what you guys do.
Well, but I'll tell you what, I might coach you out of that, because I'll tell you, I have built some things. I don't know if you've ever built anything. I've built properties. I built a television studio, and dealing with contractors has been the bane of my existence when it comes to do that, because no one ever taught me how to talk to a contractor. Gosh forbid you have a change order, you don't like something. I would have loved that instruction. And maybe you think about creating a product to help people like me and anyone else who wants to build go through the process more effectively.
Absolutely. There's always changes in projects. You know, timelines are changing, permits, especially in Florida, permits. You know, there's always change orders happening, and it's just setting the expectations accordingly, right? It's having set contracts. You have to have certain clauses, 30-day clauses, price fixed percentages and whatnot. That being said, a guide would be, I think we could work on something and make a guide.
So McKenna, he's got a physical business. What would you recommend if he wants to become a little bit more nationally recognized?
Nationally recognized for what?
Well, in the building arena, things that he knows. It's about leveraging your expertise. You all have something, one thing, that if you really thought about it, you could make money with that in your sleep. So maybe you have grandma's favorite recipe, and maybe you said, you know what, I'm going to take her brownie recipe and now offer it gluten-free or low-fat. That is a viable product. He's got a very physical product, but I think teaching contractors, have you ever built anything?
I have built plenty of properties, and I'm building quite the company. Right. And even my supplements, for instance, it's been a labor of love, and it's been complicated, but it's very fulfilling. And they have gone national and even global. So yeah.
So I think it's interesting, but especially when it comes to physically building a project.
Well, what's interesting about that is that's something I would watch on social media. That's something I could binge watch, because I would love to get into buying real estate, and everyone talks about flipping real estate, but no one actually talks about you need this person and this electrician. And I'm useless when it comes to in-person things. I can use a computer better than anybody but I do not know how to, a hammer and a nail. And I'm I don't know what these are. So it's definitely something that's interesting, because I would love to buy real estate and do those. I'm heavily invested in the stock market. When it comes to real estate, I get lost.
Well, when it comes to that, right, when you're working on a project, basically, I would say work with a designer, right? I have a team of designers that I freelance to, and basically it's all about the aesthetics and sourcing it correctly, right? If you're working on, let's say, an apartment complex, right? You want to make sure you have everything direct from the factory. Try to cut your costs. Personally, that's what I try to do.
See, that is a tip that I would want to know.
I'm in American manufacturing. What I want to do is bring American jobs and American manufacturing back. And that's what we want to do, is we want to build back better the right way with the right policy. Not what we were doing 4 years ago, what we're doing now in this current day and age.
So an amazing way to get leads to that is to teach it for free, get it out there, because everyone loves free information, and it funnels people into what you do to buy the products or whatever you're selling. But if you give free information, that's why social media is so powerful. You give a free book, you have a book, That's why books are so powerful, is because when you give more than you take in the sense of knowledge and your top of funnel just gives everything away, people naturally come your way.
I have a question for you, McKenna. So now TikTok's about to be banned, right? I was focusing on more of ASMR videos, right? How to do, let's say, countertops, right? When a countertop is being cut with a CNC machine.
Wait, you know what? I'm just being told for you guys out there, we have 1 minute left to this panel.
Okay.
You may have to take that question offline. What I
I'll
would
take
like
that.
to offer all of you is how you can get in touch with each one of us if what we talked about sparked an interest. So, Manny, how do we find you?
You can find me on the Owwll app. I'm there. Manav Kohli, MANAVKOHLI.
I love that. Dr. Sexfairy, how do we find you?
On drsexfairy.com, DRSEXFAIRY.com.
I love that. Miss McKenna.
And you can find me at GSD Your Business. That's GSDYourbusiness.com.
And you can find me simply at ForbesRiley.com. And this Sunday, if this was interesting to you, this Sunday, as every Sunday since COVID, I host a 2-hour, for you guys, a free workshop. You know what? I charge for other people, but not for you guys. So if you go to www.askforbesriley, a great resource. I will teach you, coach you, and be there live with you. I know we're giving it away for free.
Highly recommend if you want to communicate your message effectively and close more deals, get what you do out there and make an impact with your voice. There is nobody better than the $2.5 billion host and the woman who coined selling products on television.
The pitch
there you
queen
have it.
herself.
Well, I love you guys. Thank you all very much. This was a fun panel. You guys, just so you know, we're here at
Thank you,
Podfest.
guys.
I got to tell you, more guests coming up right after this.
Woo!
We're going to keep talking?
We keep
Oh,
live.
well, we are gonna-
Amazing. Thank you, guys.
All right, I love you. All right, so McKenna's going to step out. I'm going to move over here.
I'm sorry? Yeah, it's not very efficient, but I guess we're doing the best we can.
Hey, hi.
Oh, this is important. It's very
So
important.
So,
Yeah.
Gorgeous, by the way.
oh, thank you. I love that. You can't say that enough.
Hold on.
We have Billy Merritt and Christine. McLean.
Actually,
right.
Hill's got it. Hey, Hill. Paul Vato is. Could you text him and say I'll meet him at the Mist Bar after this? Thanks.
So follow my
Sorry.
lead a little bit.
No, you're good.
What was your name again? I'm
I'm
sorry.
Kristen.
Kristen. Nice to meet you.
Nice
Billy.
to meet you. What do you know?
I guess we
I run a comedy network.
There you go.
You run a comedy network?
Yes.
You funny?
Improv comedy.
Pop's great.
You are?
I'm with Mainline Marketing, so I do social media marketing for a company. We're a rep firm that represents a bunch of manufacturers.
Move that Celsius if you would. This one right here. Just no, the Celsius is there. You go, Billy Merritt. That helps me. All right, so we are back, and I'm now. It's about a co-host, me and Dr. Sex Fairy. Can I be Little Sex Fairy? I want to be like Little Sex Fairy. Just
I think you are definitely a sexy fairy.
I'm a sexy fairy. There you go. If you're watching this and have no idea what's going on, I love that. All right, we've got our first two guests because tonight we're at a big event here at Podfest, and we're going to just bring you new ideas, new people. And so we're going to start with Mr. Billy Merritt, who runs a comedy network.
Yes, the Bit Comedy Network. BIT Bit Comedy Network.
I
We
love
have
that.
4 shows up and running
Online.
online.
Okay,
yes.
so I started at theater sports. I
yeah.
got a massive improv background. Yes, and
Yeah,
And-
I still have been teaching at the Upright Citizens Brigade for 32 years.
where is that?
Upright Citizens Brigade is in New York and Los Angeles. A lot of people know Amy Poehler came out. That's her theater. She started it.
Yes.
A lot of the writers that you see and a lot of the performers all kind of came out of that theater. Yeah.
How very exciting. And we also have Kristen McLean.
Yes, Kristen McLean.
Come on, marketing girl. Tell us about you.
I'm a marketing guru, so I'm with Mainline Marketing. I actually just started with them, but I have 4 years of marketing experience. So my previous company, I was running social medias, websites, and I just started with Mainline Marketing, and I am already getting their website up and way, as well as their social medias for Mainline Connects, which is their sister company he's opened, which is a service provider for integrators. So we do the programming, the engineering, and the designing. And with Mainline Marketing, we're a rep firm that represents over 16 manufacturers all through the state of Florida. So sure, big microphone people, they're here today. That's one of our brands we represent, but I love it. I'm a people's people, and that's what marketing is about. I'm also very artsy. So just incorporating that into our newsletters and our flyers and social media posts. That's what I do.
Well, let me ask you a question. With TikTok going away, what are we to do?
I am very sad about that on a personal level as well. I'm kind of in disbelief, and I'm hoping that it's not going to happen, but I just fingers crossed. So we actually don't dabble in TikTok for our company because our target audience is going to be mainly on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. So it won't hurt them, but it hurts me personally. I love my TikTok.
What is one secret when it comes to social marketing that you can give us?
I would just say constantly being relevant. You also want to make sure your brand is being recognized. So keep your color scheme out. Make sure you're posting. You can also look at the analytics of what's popular, what's trending, and hashtags is a big one too. Always use hashtags.
I need somebody her age to explain all this. Billy, what are you doing here at Podfest?
Promoting this new network that we started.
Called?
It's the Bit Comedy Network. It's a brand new experiment where we're performing with actors all over the world, kind of connecting through Zoom and other ways to communicate, and creating improvised podcasts. And it seems to be a lot more successful than I thought it would be because I'm still doing it.
Tell me a little bit about your improvised podcasts. What does that mean?
Well, like we have one show called Rabbit Hole, and we've all been in a rabbit hole. Have you ever clicked onto something online? Like the other day, I was looking up Vienna sausages because I didn't feel well after that. And I was like, what's in a Vienna sausage? And then that ended up leading to the Habsburg dynasty in Vienna. And 2 hours later, I never learned about the sausages, but I learned about all this other stuff.
So you and I both have ADHD.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a show for ADHD people.
I love that.
So one scene leads to another, leads to another, leads to another. So that's like an example of one of the shows. Another one's called Podcast Town, where we interview somebody about their small town where they're from, and we create 3 improvised podcasts from that town, and we kind of weave them in and out. We're going to do that tonight in the comedy showcase tonight at 9:30.
I love that.
Yeah.
What's one of your favorite podcasts to listen to?
What?
What's one of your favorite podcasts to listen to?
You know what? I was just talking to the person. I'm a history nerd. So I love hardcore history. And there's this wonderful little one called Stuff the British Stole. It's a short podcast.
I could tell you about that. I'm from India.
Absolutely.
Wow, oh, that's so true.
We want our Kohinoor back. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I know.
very
You
funny.
just go through the British Museum and then you got a
Oh, the
podcast.
Greeks are pretty upset with them too.
Yeah, right?
The Elgin marbles.
Yeah.
And what a podcast that you love would be?
I am going to go with what I watch with my husband, whether we're on a road trip or at home, and it's Joe Rogan. I know it's the common answer, but he is hilarious. He's amazing. I love it.
I have to say, in our house, we are addicted to Patrick Bet David all through the election. It was the only place that I thought you could get objective views from both sides, totally bipartisan. And I'm loving that. Patrick, just so you know, if you're watching or somebody is, I haven't met you yet, honey. We need to talk. And yours?
I would say it would have to be a tie between Mel Robbins and Huberman Lab.
Oh, that's interesting. Huberman Lab and Mel Robbins. Why do you like Mel Robbins?
I like Mel Robbins because she is a very motivational person. And I hate for it to sound like a cliche, but she really is. That whole concept of let them. What they think about you is not your problem. That concept, people need to imbibe more. And Huberman Lab, I love because he's all about science, facts, data. And I'm a woman of science with the Dr. Saxberry podcast. I mean, it's a fun podcast, but it's science-based. So
I've had a
these are my
podcast for
favorites.
12 and a half years. Notice no one said the Forbes factor. We have to fix that. That's one reason I'm here.
Yes.
And by the way, I don't know if you all totally know what Dr. Sex Fairy does.
I already know that I'm
Yeah.
going to tune in because
And you're going to tune in. I'm thinking for men,
Oh, my sex nickname is Troll Nose.
troll nodes.
Yeah.
Would you like to ask the Dr. Sex Fairy a question?
Does it have to be about sex or can it be about sports?
I'm sorry. If you could ask a beautiful woman about sex, dude, there's something wrong with you. If
What's
you're
the
doing,
sexiest sport?
I would say football because Tom Brady's in it. Or what?
Really?
no, it's football because they bend over and they touch each other's ass. Pass me the thing while I'm holding your butt.
Yeah.
It's all about sex. I'm
You know
so
how
sorry.
There was the movie 80 for Brady. 40 for Brady, baby.
40
Ah.
for Brady. Or I'll fight you for him.
See, I would
There you
say
go.
naked oil wrestling.
Oh, I didn't think about that as a sport. I did that just last night. I was thinking that's just after dinner.
You do what you do.
That'll burn calories.
Oh my God. How about a question for Dr. Sexberry?
I mean, what do you give me your best recommendation for keeping it lively in a relationship?
I would say that your most important sex organ's your brain.
Yeah.
But always remember the importance of preservation. Too many people think that they should wait till there's something wrong before they go seek help. Preservation is a very important thing. You will have a much better life if you never get to the point where you need me and you come to me preemptively.
Okay, so I have a sex question. When you're with your partner for a long time, do things statistically just get a little boring and stale no matter how amazing you both are? And what do you do to keep it fresh?
I think you can try different things from time to time. For instance, I recently did an episode about Brazilian sex hotels. Now,
Brazil, I haven't heard this. Did she say Brazilian sex hotels?
Yes, and this is not where you take hookers. This is where you take your partner.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the band, Brazilian Sex Hotel.
No, that's Sex Pistols. Very different.
Oh.
They literally have them, like we in America have after parties, they have after dates.
Oh, all
very
right.
interesting. So what a way to spice it up. Bravo, I say.
Well, I think the operative word is to spice it up.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, I'm hoping you can all hear us. There's a lot of people at this event. We're coming down to our final minute of this interview. Last thoughts for the world? Just something you want to share with everybody?
Hey, everybody's funny. Just to let it happen, man.
I've looked at people. Some of them are funnier than others. Oh, no, you're not supposed to say that. So politically incorrect. Too bad. Get over it. Trump's in office. I can say what I want. How do we find you, Billy?
You can find me on bitcomedy.com or
Comedy.
Billy Merritt on Instagram. Why not?
I love that. Final thought for the world.
I would say constantly try and think positive in the day. I did just start journaling, and you write down your positive moment and what your highlights are for the day, and it definitely helps. So spread the positivity, and you'll see that positivity come in.
And how do we find you?
You can find our company, mainlinemarketing.com, as well as Instagram. It's going to be the same name. And then my personal Instagram is Kristen N. McLean.
I love that. If you like my hosting, I'm very much a motivational speaker this year with a new book. Go to ForbesRiley.com. And
if you'd like to biohack your sex life, go to drsexfairy.com, and that's DRSEXFAIRY.com.
I love that, you guys. All right, we're going to wrap this episode up. Thank you both for joining us. I appreciate that. Billy, we'll see you at the comedy. Bit Comedy. I love that, you guys. We'll be right back after this message.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's still no. I think the podcast keeps rolling.
I think so.
So we get to talk. Give me some spicy idea, something to do that has like just married couple. Like if you just do maybe this, what might that be?
I would say focus a lot more on foreplay outside the bedroom.
Okay, I wanted to make sure that you guys heard that. Focus more on the foreplay outside of the bedroom.
Yes.
That's actually an interesting idea.
Because everybody thinks that foreplay begins inside.
Right.
And I think that's where you've lost the game already.
I think foreplay begins at the grocery store. Honey, what are we going to have for dinner tonight? Want to touch my melons?
That's right.
Let's get a cucumber. Oh my God, we have two new beautiful guests. Say, hey, how are you? All right, turn your things right here. We've got, there's Kate. I love that. And Sean Williams. All right, so what's great about this, we talked about an improv interview. We don't know what they do, just like you don't. So we're going to ask those questions. Sean, tell us who you are and what you're up to.
Yes, my name is Sean Williams. I do podcasting. My podcast is called Situations Podcast, and it's about dating and relationships.
Look at that great little smile. It's like, it's about dating and relationship. Are you an expert in dating and relationships?
I feel like I've gone through enough experiences to be able to kind of talk about it and kind of become a subject matter expert in it over the years.
I have a question, care of my co-host. Are you good at sex?
I like to say yes, but it's all about, at the end of the day, it's about making sure like the woman comes first. That's my biggest thing.
And now you get a yes. If the woman comes first, that's a yes. And I mean, I'm not an expert, but I'm just saying from experience.
Well, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I will tell you, this is going to be interesting. And my beautiful co-host, tell us about who you are and what you're up to.
I'm Katie Kremitzos, and I've been podcasting since 2014, actually. My most recent podcast endeavors for the past 6.5 years is the Women's Meditation Network. It is a family of 20 different podcasts, and we create guided meditations for women and kids. And we get to be listened to all around the world by women who can help find their true selves through meditation.
I love that. You have a question?
Sure. We should have a meditation that people can do to become closer to their partner.
Oh, do you have that?
Because
I'm sorry, say that again.
how about a meditation to be closer to your partner? Is there such a thing?
To be closer to your partner?
Yeah, she's all about sex. This is so. So let me.
I'm getting that.
Well, let me. That's not my topic, but I happen to love it, so I'm enjoying it. I'm Forbes Riley, just so you know. I'm known as the $2.5 billion host. That's how much I've sold on infomercials and live home shopping. You've got a product. I will make sure the world knows about it.
There you go.
And sitting to my left is Dr. Sex Fairy, who does.
I'm a medical doctor, and I am probably the world's best known sex doctor.
So I've actually done guided meditation series about women and becoming more aligned and in tune with their sexuality, and being able to do that in a way that is really beautiful and whole, and not not on the other side, and allows them to really continue to be open about themselves sexually. So yes, I feel like it's a lot of that.
Well, what's been great about spending the day with her, and I didn't realize, is that she does talk about not sexualizing. Is that the word? Like not sexualizing sex? And just making it about it. We all do it. We love it. It's how we're all here. Ironically, most of us.
Yes, I stopped making my entire mission is to make sex a non-issue, because there's so much shame attached to it. How are you supposed to orgasm with your partner if you can't even discuss with them that what they're doing isn't working? The orgasm gap is a real thing, and women are orgasming far less than their male counterparts. And I don't think it's the men's fault. You know how many women fake it? It's sad. So I'm all about honesty, about taking the shock factor out of it and discussing it like anything else in life.
So I was raised so conservative that just her saying the word orgasm in public out loud is like, oh, my mother's having a fit right now. We are so into shaming each other. In fact, I have to tell a true story. I called my parents on my 30th birthday. I was having a party. I might have had a little too much to drink. And my parents in the old days used to both get on the phone at the same time. Remember those phones? And I literally said to my mother and father, how come you guys never taught me about sex? And my father chimed in. He's like, well, do you know about it now? And I'm like, Dad, I'm 30. Yeah, I got it. Thank you. But there was such shame. I mean, and that's definitely the 40s, 50s, and 60s. There's a lot of shame about this.
Yeah.
I love this topic, though.
But you know, the shame exists now as well. My son said to me the other day, he was talking about something about sex. We don't sit around the dinner table always talking about sex, don't get me wrong, but I like to have, very simple discussions with my kids about them. And he said, doing the dirty. I said, excuse me? And he said, doing the dirty, sex. I said, no, I got that, but why do you call it doing the dirty? I said, it's not appropriate for you to be doing it at this time, but that doesn't make it dirty. So I think even now that mindset still goes towards sex being dirty.
Yeah.
And it's really
I know.
too bad.
All right, so Mr. Sean, we got to focus on you for a second. We've got 2 minutes here. I want to have the world out there know a little bit about why you do what you do and how they can get involved with you.
Yeah, so basically I wanted to make sure that I had a platform where people know that, you're not alone in the whole dating game. Dating is complex no matter where you are. And, I want to give people tools and resources to be able to be better daters. So that's why I talk with like therapists, like mental health a therapist, sex therapists. You can find me everywhere, situationspodcast.com. We're everywhere. And again, I have guests from all different backgrounds.
We never lost. Got it. All right. And tell everybody how they can find you as well.
At womensmeditationnetwork.com, or just search for Meditation for Women on your podcast player.
I'm very excited to hang out with the two of you guys. Thank you so very much for being here. You guys, part of our Owwll family. Ooh. We give a hoot. Got a good.
Can you get in my selfie?
Yeah, come on. Actually, give it to him and let's take a photo. Oh. Would you mind taking a picture of all of us? All right. We apparently have a long line out the building of people who would like to sit here next to us. And so I'm going to continue here live from Podfest. You guys, I'm having a blast. I've had a chance to talk about relationships, dating, meditation, sex, hanging out with my daughter. You know, you never know what you find in Orlando. And I hope you guys are leaving very nice comments below. Bye, Dr. Sex Fairy. Oh, look who's here. Oh my goodness. All right. Love this man. He's down here, Mr. Wally Green. We met earlier today, you guys. You may or may not know, but I'm in the National Fitness Hall of Fame.
No, Mike.
And the way that I got there is by selling more fitness products, but I was never the fittest person in the world. And Natasha Graziano is joining me as my co-host. Give it up for Natasha. Talk about fit. And if you sit in this chair, you have to be sexy. That is the rule.
Oh my God, I love it. But so wait, we have a lot to live up to. We have the Sex Fairy. I mean, the name Sex. How cool is that? Is that your actual name?
It is. It's what I've been talking about all day long. Her mom named her Sex. No.
Wait, your mom named you Sex? No.
And her mom named her Gullible. Look under G in the dictionary. There's Natasha's
Wait,
picture.
you're lucky that we're like so close. I love you.
You know what? And I will say, for those of you out there, because I grew up in a very conservative household, I redefined the word sexy. SEXY stands for seeing excellence in yourself.
Yeah.
When you look in the mirror, do you see sexy?
When I look in the mirror, I see empowered, badass bitch babe who just dominates life.
We all see a badass, empowered bitch. I mean, sorry. All right, we've got two amazing guests. Wait till you meet Wally. Do me a favor, turn your Mr. Michael. Michael has no last name, and that's okay.
O'Neill, sorry.
Mr. Michael O'Neill. Mr. Michael O'Neill, tell my audience out there, there's millions of people watching live. Who are you and what do you do?
Oh, you know how much I love this question. I'm Michael O'Neill. This is my 10th year speaking at Podfest.
Yes.
I have a show called the Solopreneur Hour, which I do deep dive. The Solopreneur Hour, which I've done deep dive 1 hour interviews with entrepreneurs now for 13 years. It has over.
Never invited me on the show, Michael.
It has over 15 million downloads. I've spoken all around the world on, podcasting, and today I did a great session on the art of the interview.
What did you do before this that qualifies you to do that?
Which part?
Just a whole business. You've been having a podcast. You talk about business. What was your life before?
I actually went to school for broadcasting, telecommunications, and mass media, so that presumably qualified me to be on a microphone. And then I'm a very much serial entrepreneur. Like at the moment right now, I have a pickleball brand. I restore vintage Porsches. I'm doing.
I love pickleball. It's so good.
So great. So I have the number one.
Pickleball was a thing. I'm British, and I arrived here and I was like, "Wait, you guys play like pickles and balls? What the fuck is that? That's an actual thing."
We're talking about pickles and balls, ladies and gentlemen. Our ratings just went through the roof. Thank you so much for redefining a British version of what pickleball is.
So I have the number one pickleball podcast in the world.
You do?
It's called 4.0
You should
to
have
Pro.
Jamie on. Jamie Foxx has his own paddle company. He's my
I know
friend.
Jamie in LA. Yeah.
He's my friend. I played it in
But
his
we don't interview
garden.
people.
Okay.
We just teach.
We just teach. All right. Now, speaking of hitting balls
Number
with
one
paddles,
players in the world.
hitting balls with paddles, we've got the number one guy over here, Mr. Wally Green. I have the honor of playing ping pong with you today. Dude, you are outrageous.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Come say hi. Tell everybody out there who you are.
Well, my name is Wally Green. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, originally New York City. I'm a pro athlete. Played table tennis for the U.S. team in every major country in the entire world, including North Korea. I'm a TEDx speaker, and I have one of the most insane, crazy life stories you will ever hear in your entire life.
Wow. Can you give us a two-sentence version of that? I know it's short.
Two sentence. We go from domestic violence to gangs, guns, to ping pong, to North Korea. I mean, it's crazy.
All right, and if we want to know more about your story, because I do, how do we find you?
I'm on Instagram, Wally Green NYC.
I love that. Michael, just to make sure, how do we find you?
Solo Hour, SOLOHOUR.
Solo Hour, I love that. And Natasha has just joined me all the way from the UK. We just arrived from London.
Yes.
Tell everybody a little bit. The crowd has gotten a whole lot bigger behind you. If you hear a lot of people talking, we're like in a fishbowl. Natasha Graziano, a woman that I've met and known for years now. We met on Clubhouse, but today, for the first time, we've got to touch each other.
Yeah, that was beautiful. We actually did for the first time. I love it. I was saying how important that is. Like putting a crown on another woman. Like owning who you are, but owning who you are inside and knowing that other women are doing amazing things. And I love it. And it's not just about women. It's about empowering.
Just do that with wait.
Yeah,
I have to do one
I
shoulder.
just threw the jacket off.
There you go. Now the ratings keep going up. I'm learning. Come on, little shoulder here.
Natasha,
Yes.
do you, if I say the name Downtown Julie Brown, how do you relate to that? Do you know who that is?
No, who is that?
That is you in 1987.
Yes.
Really?
Oh, she was adorable.
Almost to a T.
I love that. Wow,
It
she
is-
sounds amazing. Was she
Yeah.
like a Audrey
She was a
Hepburn?
presenter on MTV.
Oh my God, I love
And
that.
I'm like the Barbara Walters from yesteryear. No.
Good.
Tasha, please ask a question of Michael and Wally.
Okay, so if you could go back to that moment where you had to speak to your younger self and tell them to actually change their life in that day, like I know that point where I should have done something different. Where was that point for you? What would you say to your younger self?
I would have said, buy all the Bitcoin you can in 2010.
Yes. Why did we not buy Bitcoin?
I could have bought $5 of it and had 500 Bitcoin right now.
But we never look back. We only look forward, and I appreciate that. Wally, you're talking to your younger self. What are you saying?
That for me is a really difficult question because I think myself of today is exactly where I need to be, and I'm the person that I need to be. Like I said, I think if I would have went back and changed something back then, I don't think I'd be the person I am today. I think I'd be a different version of that, and I kind of like the version of today.
And if I went back, I would simply say, stop sweating the small stuff. Life is going to be wonderful. You'll go through ups and downs, hills and valley, and you are the sum of the obstacles that you overcome, but I wouldn't change a thing.
Amen. You know what the importance of it? Every single day, we get a choice, right? Whether we're going to light somebody's candle or whether we're going to blow it out. Are you going to light somebody's candle and then they're going to go home and light somebody else's candle?
Exactly.
Right? And all of a sudden, you light up the whole world. Or are you going to blow out somebody's candle and then they're going to go home and blow out somebody else's candle, and all of a sudden you've de-lit the whole world with a bad deed?
Give it up for Miss
got a
Natasha. Our producer's telling us we need to wrap it up. You guys, I'm having too much fun.
Ladies, you are delightful. Thank you for having us.
Thank
All right,
you.
so we're
Thank
thinking
you.
we're all both going to be on Mr. Michael's podcast. Where do we find it?
It's the Solopreneur Hour on every platform you can.
I love that, Wally Green.
Amazing. Nice to meet you guys. Woo! Let's give it up for Michael and Wally. Yes.
Woo! Ah! All right, so we are having the craziest, spontaneous. You guys don't know. So Natasha and I have just literally have been hanging out forever on Clubhouse, and I get to do this for real.
Yes.
And fire away questions of people that we've just met to be entertaining for you. If you're loving it, drop a comment down below, and certainly follow our guests and tell us how much you love the Owwll podcast and everybody that's here. All right, I've got two new guests.
Take the mic out. I feel like we can control the sound more. What do you think?
You might be ready.
I think we do it like that.
All right. So, who do I have here next to my little owl? And we love you because we give a hoot. Mr. Mike.
I love
All
that.
right. All right, Mr. Mike Roth and my beautiful man at the end. Will you turn that to me?
Sean.
It's Sean James, the man with two first names, talking to the woman who has two last names.
Private.
Sean James, look at that camera right there and tell everybody who you are and what you're up to.
My name is Sean James. I am a serial entrepreneur. I live in New York City. I'm a former NFL player, and I'm sitting here with Mike. And Mike told me that I should not drive a BMW. I should drive a Mercedes. I'm in the wrong car.
Now, wait a second. When you just say former NFL, there's only a few people who ever get to breathe that air.
Yeah, it's pretty
what
amazing.
team and what position?
I played running back for the Minnesota Vikings in the 1990s and the Chicago Bears.
That was the year I was born, in the 90s.
Just say that out loud, did you? Oh, my God. You totally...
Now we know how old
There
you
you
are.
go.
Never supposed
Don't we feel ancient? Thank you,
Fell
Natasha.
into a trap. Fell into a trap.
Oh, well, congratulations. That's amazing. Okay, and Mike Roth, tell us about you.
I live in the Villages, Florida. I run a podcast called Open Forum in the Villages.
Wait, open what?
Open Forum in the Villages, where we talk about all the truth of the good things that are happening in the villages. I talk to real people, heads of clubs and organizations, even politicians. And
What part of New York are you from?
I grew up in Brooklyn, Doity,
No
Doity, and Doity.
Yeah, I was born in Maimonides Hospital in Flatbush. I get it.
I know that.
I get it.
Okay, we were born
I had to
in-
leave the accent. See, my accent wasn't as cute as Natasha's. If I could talk like Natasha, I'd have a much better one.
You know, my brother,
Oh, I've just got a British
virgin
accent.
in Maimonides.
You know, I hear things about the villages. We just had Dr. Sex Fairy on, and I hear in the villages there's a rampant amount of sex among seniors. Is that true?
of course, there's sex among seniors, but the rumors are false. It is not the STD capital of the world.
Oh! I know. All right, tell everybody what you do and what you want everyone to know why you're here today.
I'm here today to promote my podcast and learn more about podcasting and learn more about AI, because I teach courses in both of those at the Enrichment Academy in the Villages.
You know what I love is that it's never too late. Is that one of your messages?
That's right. I mean, my Enrichment Academy course on AI always sells out on the first day.
That's amazing.
That's really amazing.
It's amazing. I had a 92-year-old gentleman take the course.
Because it is never too late. I just hung out last week. I did the Jack LaLanne Juicer with Jack and his wife.
Right.
He started when he was 88. We finished. He died at 96. His wife is 98 years old on her way to being 99. And she just started a podcast. You guys, it's never too late. Tell me what's one big takeaway from this event for you?
I think as someone that's about to turn 56 and you see the generation of AI and podcasts, the difference between broadcast and podcast is TV and what we're doing right this moment. And then I'm sitting next to a guy that got more gray than me, that's probably more relevant, has a bigger podcast than me, is what this is all about. That there's older people in here, to what you said, it's not too late to be in the game. So I think it's extremely important that we can always get education, be around like-minded people and learn.
100%. You know, there's never that point. It's just a new chapter in your life. When you decide I want to have a podcast, I was saying it to my cousin the other day. I was like, when you want to have a podcast, you just do it, you know? And it's like, you just wake up that day and say, I'm going to share my story. I have something irresistible to share with the world that nobody else has. I have something that I want to get out there.
Yeah.
And in fact, I want to educate people in this certain field. And you just decide, why am I doing this podcast? What's the feeling that I want to do with this podcast? Like, my podcast is number 5 in the US for education, right? And how do I stay in that top 5 on Apple all year round?
Yeah.
Because I'm educating around my topic, which is the law of attraction. So I'm constantly teaching people about success and education and, you know, how to attract your dream life, but in a scientific way, in so many ways. You just have to dominate your field, and it's never too late. I want to learn from someone like Mike Rock.
Yeah.
I want to learn from the 98-year-old. I want to learn from the 17-year-old, because I'm going to learn from every single person in every single walk of life.
Well, there's a lot to learn. It's a lot to learn. There are a lot more people out there. You know, we've got 150,000 people now in the Villages, and it's a boom town. It's going to double in size in the next 10 years.
Yes.
I did 150 episodes, and I haven't begun to scratch the surface of the stories that I have to tell.
What's one of your secrets for staying young?
Be active. Be mentally active and be physically active.
Same thing for you, Sean. What's one of your secrets?
I think to interact with the opposite sex. I think I'm a big fan of Forbes. I love you. I'm a fan of yours. And the ideal of men and women can come together and learn from one another is, I think, where the direction that we need to get back to, that we can actually coexist. Because if you look at it, you have 2 men on the right and 2 women on the left, and we're learning from one another. So that's
true.
That's what's important to me.
So
that
true.
we stop this division, but really bring it back to learning from one another and start to ask questions and get information and process that information to actually help people.
One of the things that I absolutely love about what I get to do, whether it's on this podcast or on my own, is sharing information, is bringing together new thought leaders and listening to what people have to say, but more importantly, taking action. Implementation is really important. We have 1 minute left. I have one word. My word 2 years ago was implementation. Then I burnt out last year was delegation. This year, domination. What's your one word for 2025? Oh, I love this. Think about it for a second, Sean.
See, the beauty is I'm thinking, and people have not taken the time to think before they open their mouth.
Maybe thinking is the one for you.
It is.
Oh, I love that for the moment.
So as I said, I learned from this pretty beautiful girl on the right that has a little bitty gold thing right here that's so fly. I'm going to say thinking is my go-to word for 2025.
That's fascinating.
Action.
Action.
Take action.
Motivation. Domination. We are doing it. Can I hear a yes?
Yes.
Oh, wait.
I didn't hear you.
Yes.
All right, how do people find you, Sean?
Sean James 23 on Instagram, X, on all platforms. Sean James 23.
Can you write that down?
You can find me on my podcast, Open Forum in the Villages, Florida.com.
Everybody watching behind the scenes, give my gentleman a big round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you guys.
Thank you so much.
On the floor.
I believe that we are still live, just so you know. No, yeah, we're still live.
Oh, we're still live.
We're still live.
Oh, hi.
I know, it's a little confusing to me, kind of fun. So,
Yeah.
wait, what was your word?
My word was motivation, but that's because I'm a motivational speaker. So it's
You
always
are.
motivation. I wake up every day. Motivation is my thing. Like, if I don't inspire myself, I can't inspire somebody else. But motivation is my word. I live by that word.
I love that. Oh, man, nice to see you here.
How are you?
Come on, turn this over here. I know, right?
Yeah.
You've got Kevin and Daryl. Is it both Warren? Are you brothers?
Yes, we are. Yes,
Could I tell because you got that vibe together?
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the show. Say hi to Natasha. Would you look at my camera right there? We are live. We're on the Owwll Podcast here at Podfest in Orlando. We are live broadcasting. I would love, Mr. Warren, share with us. Tell them about you. What are you up to?
Hey, we're the Sports Chasers podcast. We're here. We're promoting our podcast, and we just came to promote our stuff. What we're doing today.
Dude, if you don't smile, I'm going to go over there and rub your head and ask for a wish. Big smile. There you go.
Okay, smile.
There you go. All right, talk to me.
Serious by nature.
I know it, Kevin. Come on, tell everybody.
All right, so like he said, we're a sports podcast called the Sports Chasers Podcast. We have 6 co-hosts. I'm the leader of I'm the fearless leader, and we talk all sports. You name it, we talk about it, from pickleball to the NHL to basketball.
So wait, you might know some of the people that I date.
Uh-oh.
If they're in
Probably
sports.
so. No doubt.
Oh, this is fun. Oh,
You
this
only
just
dating
turned up a
sports
notch.
guys? You dating sports guys?
Oh yeah, no. So I'm recently single, and I'm dating people in the sports field. But like the funny thing is I have no idea about who they are because I'm British. So when like an NBA player is sitting next to me going, "Hey babe, what's up?" I'm like, "Who are you?" And everyone's like, "Yo, do you know who you're sitting next to?" I was like, "Yeah, really?"
No, I'm not single, but I heard Tom Brady is. Just kidding. Tom, if you know Tom, I just want to say hi.
I really like sports is a really like thing that brings people together. Like that's what I like about athletes. But what I like about dating athletes, they're so clean. Like they don't ingest bullshit. They don't smoke. Like they're healthy.
Yes.
And they wake up every day and they're just healthy. And it's so nice. And they train. And I'm like, I train my mind and you train your body. We have a great, and your man's fine. So you understand.
Hey, I'm in love with a professional bodybuilder. I got to tell you.
You get it.
I do. And you know what's interesting about that real fast? I am 64 years old. And this last year, 2024, I took on a bodybuilding challenge. To be in a bikini, I lost 30 pounds.
I saw you looked incredible.
Let's clap it up.
You looked insane. Yeah.
Because being a role model means you can do it at any age. You want to live life.
That's right.
Explain to me what's one of the things that you've learned by talking to professional athletes.
They're just regular people, man. They do.
No. I'm so sorry. They are nice, but they are not regular. Somebody to get to that level. Everybody in high school.
You didn't let me finish.
All right, okay.
They're regular people, but yes, they have a acquired talent. They have acquired skill that they built up to get to where they at.
Yeah.
To be at the pinnacle of where they're at. Right. So to get that, they're absolutely regular, of course, but they're a special person too. But they have, problems just like everyday people.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting.
Yeah, I would say just like Floyd Mayweather is one of my favorite boxers. He'll say hard work, dedication. That's what got him there. So yeah, they're regular people in a sense, but it takes a special skill to get.
I feel like their dedication is amazing. It goes back to all words: motivation, dedication. So a really good friend of mine and like someone that I've been very close to is Ryan Garcia. So I was with him as he built up to that fight, like emotionally as a friend. And then he proposed to me on my podcast live, like on my fucking podcast. You can see it on his page. Go on Ryan Garcia's page and scroll down.
Right.
He says, "Be my wife."
Okay.
He put it on his Instagram after the show. He legit asked to marry me. I was like, boo, come on. But I mean, yeah, maybe I might say yes now.
Yeah, you say.
But like, anyway, the point is the dedication and motivation that guy has is insane.
It's insane. It's
As in,
crazy.
And his brother's the same. They wake up. It's a regimen. It's a lifestyle. He goes into it and he only goes in to win.
Right.
It's like a belief system. He knows, like, I am only going to be there. Like, there's no in between.
And as you say that, that's what we try to take into the podcast. We trying to build that motivation, dedication, and
Love
build
that.
it up.
I'm in business with my daughter and my son. What's the best part of being related in business together?
I think the best thing about it is we know one another, and we know he knows. I know what he expects, and he knows my expectations as brothers. So
As we're going to tune into your podcast, how do we find it?
we're sportschaserspodcast.net. We're on
Say that slower. Sports what?
sportschaserspodcast.net. That's our website, and we're on YouTube, and we're on all social media platforms.
And someone's tuning into your podcast. Why? What do they get from your podcast?
What they're gonna get from our podcast is pretty much being real, authentic, not scripted. Just authentic podcast.
No hot takes, no
hot
nonsense.
takes. None of that.
All right, we got to wrap now. Guys, having you on was amazing. You're incredible. Thank you to the Warren brothers. Give them a round of applause. Woo, woo, woo. Thank you.
What if, you know what's been great about this? It's definitely rapid fire. Whoa, you coming in? Oh, Dr. Sexberry is going to join us. We've got a very heavy women's side. Oh, my goodness. Come here. Well, we saved the best for last. Well, actually, come. You know what? I take that back. Come sit at the very end here. John, come sit in the middle here. How funny is this? And you're going to sit right there. And I'll make sure everybody asks a question. Hey, guys, welcome back. My name is Forbes Riley. I'm here with Natasha Graziano and the Dr. Sex Fairy, all bringing you the latest in podcasting. This is kind of incredible. The man sitting to my right, he and I have been talking now. I mean, we know each other. We're friends since after the hurricane. We've not been able to see each other, but we're live today. John, give me a hug, baby. Oh, nice to see you. You have become a rock star in the world of podcasting. Tell me how that happened.
You know, Forbes, I had such an important message that I wanted to get out. I see so many people today who are struggling, and I really just felt compelled inside to help them. And to me, the beauty about podcasting is it's the one medium that you can have a one-to-one relationship with your audience.
Yes.
And so I just started out because I wanted to help people one by one improve their lives. And for me, it was the best way to do it.
Because the podcast is called what? So all our viewers can tune in.
The name of the podcast is Passion Struck.
Passion Struck. It's amazing. You have risen up it's hard to come out of there's myriads of podcasts. Yours totally stands out. And let's say hi to Carly. Carly Cowell, tell us about you.
Hi, yeah. So I'm Carly Cowell. I'm from the UK. I live kind of in Manchester.
Oh my God, you're a fellow Brit.
Yes, I
Yes,
am.
welcome. Love that. 2 Brits on the table.
Yes. So yeah, I've just come over for this. I did a Petra Kutcher talk, and it's just been brilliant. I love it here. But yeah, I host a podcast called Less Panic, More Disco, and it's about bringing more calm and more joy to your business, your brand, your life, about getting in alignment with you and being you. So I was diagnosed with ADHD only 2 years ago, really late, and it's about embracing that. So I really started to embrace it, and I want to help other people embrace it and just be yourself, be your sort of quirky, fun self, and bring that to your business, to your podcast, to your life. Just own who you are. Yeah. Sorry, could you say that again?
A most memorable guest or a most memorable moment?
Guest on my podcast. Ooh. I think one was, and I won't say the name, but you might not know him over here, but he's quite a big business name in the UK. And I'd asked him one Sunday, somebody said that, Sunday's a good day. People are chilling out. So I just asked him on Instagram, said, would you like to be a guest? I really like what you talked about. He said, yes. And I was all nervous. I was like, oh no, right, yeah, get you on, talk about it. Really proud of that episode. And then in the pandemic, it really tested my values. So I'm quite I never want to say feminist because that has a bit of a bad vibe, but equality. And he said something that was quite against women. It was that the pandemic, it was the female guests that were letting him down. And I was like, well, they're probably parenting. The men can probably just go and do that. So it was a big, memorable moment because I decided to take that episode down. And I was really sort of in alignment and integrity with myself of taking it down. So that's probably a big one because that was quite a big episode that I had to let go of. But it was more about me being true to myself.
What's somebody that's really stood out for you, Mr. John?
As far as guests?
Yeah.
You know, I I had always wanted to have Gary Vee on the podcast, and he is one of those people that he's hard to reach, and he's extremely selective. So I remember one day I'm just sitting in front of my screen, and all of a sudden a message comes in from Gary Vaynerchuk, who I had no idea how he even knew who I was, saying, I've got a children's book coming out, and I think your podcast would be a perfect place to talk about it. Could I be on your show? And it's one of those moments where, like, all the hard work that you put in, you just feel like it's all been
recognized.
Worth it. It's incredible.
That's beautiful.
We're here at Podfest with a lot of people who want to elevate their podcast. What's a suggestion that you would give to everybody out there that says, look, this has really worked for me. I think you should give this a try.
So I sat through, I think one of the best things about Podfest is the education programs that they have. And one of tonight's Hall of Fame inductees, Lou Mangello, gave a great talk today about the relationship economy. And what he really talked about is that podcasting is really about the relationships that you create. And it's that one-on-one relationship, like I was talking about with your audience, but it's also how you approach your guest. And
oh my God, I love this topic because this is the craziest thing. The guests who have been on my show, if you've like seen my show, we're talking from will.i.am to Steve Aoki to Ryan Garcia. Like it's incredible, right? Every week, a new A-lister. But the amazing thing is people are like, how did you get those people on your show? Relationship. I spend time nurturing relationships. I DM them and they reply. Like it helps having a blue tick, but it also helps that I post amazing content of other guests so they can see that's a really great show. I want to go on that. I feel safe. And then how do you nurture that relationship once they're on the show? How do you protect it? How do you then carry on with that relationship into the future? And it's amazing when you're talking about it because it's a one-on-one conversation. I always say to my audience, I'm like, everyone tuning in today, you are literally, like you did at the beginning, you are literally getting a conversation between me and my guest.
You will never hear anyone else. We are being given a signal that we have just 60 seconds left. So Carly, how do we find you?
Find me on Instagram. So it's Carly Cowell CC, I think. And I'm trying. My mind's gone blank. But that's
and the name of your podcast is?
Oh yeah, sorry. It's Less Panic, More Disco.
I love that, Mr. John Miles. How do we find you?
You can find me at passionstruck.com or on Instagram at John R. Miles.
And we should say that tonight is a Hall of Fame inductee, and you, my friend, are the host of it, yes?
Yes.
Congratulations. So nice. Hometown friend. I am Dr. Forbes Riley. You can find me at ForbesRiley.com.
And I'm Natasha Graziano, and you can find me everywhere online under Natasha Graziano.
Dr. Sexberry.
Yes, thank you, Natasha, for the mic. Dr. Sexberry at drsexberry.com and Dr. Sexberry Podcast everywhere podcasts are found.
I would just like to take this moment to thank Mr. Jason over here. Come on down here. Sit right in the center. Come here. Just the creator of Owwll. Not in front of me, dude, but no, just joking. No, seriously. Put your butt right here.
I missed the mark.
There you go. Just tell everybody a little bit about how you put all this together and why it's so important for you to do all this.
Okay, before everybody leaves, first of all, we got a VIP with everybody right here from 6:15 to 8:15 in the St. George room. So do not go back up to your room. Head over to the St. George. And this setup is because of podcasting, right? I created the mobile app Owwll because I was a podcaster like everybody here in this room, and it impacted my life. And I wanted to make it easier for people to connect. It's that simple. So head over to VIP and come join us, and let's celebrate.
Give it a big round for Jason and for Owwll. Check out the app. It is spectacular. OWWLL. And we will see you in podcast ether. Thanks for watching. Remote workers around the world. She's making my dreams come true. She's just spectacular.